Pack your bags and leave tonight, everybody. Welcome to the Football Ramble preview show. Luton and Burnley are finally back in action this weekend. It's Friday, 25th of August. I'm Marcus Speller.
I'm Pete Donaldson.
I'm Andy Brassel.
And I'm Vish and Andy.
Got to move your feet, don't you miss the flight?
What?
Do this first, though.
Oh, right, okay.
Yes.
Well, is your flight today then?
Flight's later on tonight, yeah. But
Okay, fine, okay.
What's what I do first? I brought a big bag. It's too big for me.
You're
and
leaving
too
from
heavy.
the office.
I've brought, because in Japanese onsens you're not allowed tattoos, I've bought myself silicone legs.
Really?
Oh, of course, yeah.
I've bought some silicone legs,
Hang on,
and
so-
they look very medical.
You're not allowed tattoos in Japan?
You're not allowed tattoos in certain places in Japan
Yeah.
because...
Where are you going? Are
it's
you going to the
it's
ambassador's
linked
receptions?
It's linked to Yakuzas. Yeah, you're not allowed in the onsens. So I've bought some jelly kind of silicone legs.
Oh,
They make
just-
me look like I've got fake legs.
Just wear trousers.
Yeah, I'm going to wear trousers in a pool. Why is that man wearing trousers? No reason.
Oh, so swimming pools.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
a
yeah.
sickener, isn't it?
That is a sickener. Terrible.
Oh, my goodness. Well, the mind simply boggles.
It does.
Right. Other than that, chaps, what are we looking forward to this weekend? Andy Brassel, get us off to a good start.
I am looking forward to going to Newcastle United versus Liverpool.
Yeah.
And I just hope that Nick Pope stays at home this time.
Yeah.
By that, I mean in his penalty
In his
box.
penalty
yes.
box, yeah.
Yeah, you've always got a problem with the Pope, haven't you? But there we are. Peter, what are you looking forward to? Old jelly legs, what are you looking forward to this weekend?
Bruce Grobbelaar. I am also looking forward to Nick Pope staying at home this
Uh-huh.
week. I mean, I'm going to be in Japan, so I am going to be watching the Newcastle-Liverpool match at midnight.
Ooh.
So that's going to be fun.
Yeah, it
with
is.
terrible jet lag. But yeah, I'm looking forward to that. I really fancy Newcastle in this match because I don't think I think all of the chat after the Man City match, I think, was that Newcastle played really well and Man City really celebrated at the end because they thought they'd kind of almost robbed a point.
Yeah.
None of that was true.
No.
Newcastle were pretty poor. They were they couldn't string a pass together. Bruno Guimaraes couldn't control a football at times.
He'd been on
and
the
it was-
Kinder eggs.
He'd
that's
been
why.
on the Kinder. He'd had 15 Kinder eggs. He was off his head. But he was choking on a crazy croco. But I do fancy them in this match because Liverpool aren't quite the finished product, are they?
Do you
in
think
old
the City
rebuild?
players were simply going, it's bedtime?
What do you mean?
Because it was quite late.
That's true,
On
yeah,
a
yeah.
Saturday night,
8
for a
PM.
Premier League game.
Well,
I would like to
it's
see it.
It'd definitely be relevant if they were saying that to Peter later on.
Yeah,
that
Yes.
day.
it's bedtime, Peter. Go to
Indeed
bed.
It is. It often is with Pete.
But it'd be morning for you, wouldn't it? So
Would be mornings. What?
Yeah,
So
you'd be
wake
right.
up at past midnight.
it's more than 4 hours, isn't it?
It's 8 hours.
Come
It's
on,
8 hours.
Pete.
Oh,
but it-
sorry.
I
Yeah, it was
know.
at
I
4:30.
know. Londoners famously are dreadful when it comes to geography, but come on, you knew Japan was more than 4 hours ahead.
I did, but
You've been there as well.
Yeah, no, I know, yeah.
He's turned up really early again, or late, whichever one it would be. Vish, what are you looking forward to this weekend?
I mentioned it on Wednesday's show, but I'm very much looking forward to finding out how Pep Guardiola is going to be watching Manchester City's game away to Sheffield United on Sunday, because we know it's not going to be normal. We joke that he'd rock up on the side of the pitch with his arse out in a hospital gown.
Because he's
On
gone
his
back to
trip.
Barcelona to have. Was it surgery?
Yes, it was.
Yeah, back surgery.
I think
Yeah.
he said to have some work done on his back.
Is he getting a new back?
I don't know. We'll have to wait and
like
see.
it.
But yeah, so he's
So, you know,
in a lot of
before-
pain, old Pep.
Yeah, so like while they're injecting with adamantium or something, we're gonna.
Uh-huh.
I just want to see, because some managers do that or players do that where they take a photo of themselves in the hospital bed watching the TV, being like supporting the boys from afar. Go on, get the 3 points.
Yeah.
Thumbs up in the gown.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's going to be something different. Like he's going to get the nurses to reenact like plays
I was going to
or
say,
something.
imagine
or...
how overworked the nurses are going to be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or they might even do a thing of like, oh, give me the phone. I want to speak to, I want to speak to the bench. And they're like, just give them the phone, but unplug it.
I just think that like people who need pain management, they got like a button that they press that Valium just gets put in their bloodstream. He'll just be like, he'll press the button, but more pain.
Yeah.
just snap his
I
back
don't know,
even
I can
more.
see
Or he'll press the button and he'll think it'll mean more press, and he'll look at the screen like, press more, press
He's like going,
more.
yeah, this is looking actually very good.
I am so happy.
I'm relaxing. I'm drinking water.
Deary me, I'm very much looking forward to Everton versus Wolves. Goals galore, no doubt, eh?
Yeah.
Keep your eye on that one.
Yeah.
But we start with Chelsea versus Luton, which is happening tonight. Luton finally back in action, Peter. They took a little hiatus because their stadium's crap.
Yeah.
But, they're going to be away, of course, while they get that sorted. And the big chat is, of course, that their squad value is £52 million. Chelsea have spent almost £1 billion, of course, in the last 3 transfer windows alone. But Rob Edwards pointed out that numbers don't play the game.
No,
But the players do have numbers on their backs, Rob.
they do. The numbers are quite important in the global game.
Yes, they are, yeah.
You
But,
worded that very carefully, I thought, Marcus.
Thanks.
Like Luton's squad value is 52 million. Chelsea have spent almost 1 billion. You're not saying their squad value is 1 billion.
Yeah.
Andy, what do you reckon, eh? Home win, surely, but then Rob Edwards, does he have a little ace or two up his sleeve in Ross Barkley and Tim Krul?
But you've convinced me.
Yeah.
You've absolutely convinced me.
2 players in any other team wouldn't be spoken of as difference makers against Chelsea.
Okay.
Maybe a penalty shootout will break out.
Yeah, exactly. They're playing for penalties tonight,
Yeah.
Luton.
The
I
thing
mean-
is, my most recent view or my most vivid recent memory of Ross Barkley, and he did okay at Nice, was him coming onto the pitch at Nice in a shirt at half time to introduce himself to the fans.
A button shirt.
Wearing wearing a Nice shirt.
Oh, okay.
But it was one of those combinations of he was wearing the Nice shirt and some very sort of going out with the boys
Footballery
sort of
trousers. Jeans, right.
So I sort of have this feeling that he'll be playing for Luton in jeans.
Yeah, I thought you were going to say he did the reverse Brian Robson, where he was wearing suit
Yes.
trousers.
Oh, yeah.
He was obviously
Player
famously
manager,
when he was player manager.
Yeah, it was like it was almost like a broadcaster's coat. It was a sort
Yeah.
of like gingham effort, wasn't it? And the tie,
Yeah.
and then the shorts and
and
socks.
the socks. Yeah.
It
from
looked
back in the day.
very kinky.
It
It did.
I never thought about it like that.
Proper 90s kinkiness.
proper naughty 90s.
Yeah.
Proper naughty 90s stuff.
There's a little bit of basic instinct in that, isn't there?
Brian Rom's testicle could pop out at any moment. This manager's got nuts. I
Bob
would
De
say
Niro
that-
in Casino, right?
yes. Would you think that Luton have got any kind of chance here? I just feel really sorry for Luton fans. They can't enjoy their
They're
home
enjoying
matches.
it.
I know they're enjoying it, but they can't enjoy their home matches. It's just not fair.
Yeah,
It's just
By the time they
rubbish.
are enjoying their home matches,
They're
Pete,
gonna be
no
out
one
of the
else will be
league.
enjoying their home matches.
They're gonna absolutely whipped.
Yeah, I know what you mean. I mean, it's them and Sheffield United who we talk about in a short while of a hotly tipped to go down. And Rob Edwards, though, he does talk a good game, though, Vish. And he's very much, we know what we are, we know what people are saying, blah, 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 blah. The way he kind of says all this stuff as if, you just wait and see. You just wait. You
A lot of
keep
managers
saying
do that trick, though, don't they?
Yeah.
It
But
never, it never works.
yeah, that is a kind of a bit of a populist leader kind of vibe.
Yeah.
But what are you going to do about the hospitals? Oh, you'll see. You'll see.
Plans in the other trousers.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I think he.
I don't think Rob Edwards is a populist leader, if you can say for the record.
But I mean, I do feel a bit for him because a lot of this talk emanates from being asked questions. Yeah, like being asked questions in press conferences. He's not like standing on the side, outside the stadium, and being like, "You'll all see. One day you'll see."
With a placard.
Yeah. I think there's an element of like all this being a bit of a free hit, which does sound patronising, but like, fundamentally, when you look at the bold numbers that you stated at the very start, it really does feel like you're just going to have to catch teams cold. And you look at Chelsea in this moment, and you're like,
They could be caught cold.
yeah, like there's so much, there's such a weird not stasis there, but there's almost a weird kind of lack of equilibrium, lack of grounding at Stamford Bridge because of the number of players coming in, because of the way they seem to play really well against West Ham and get pumped 4-1.
Yeah.
Like, so I mean, to be honest, I don't see Luton getting anything out of it. In part because of Chelsea's individual quality. Like they might sneak a 2-0 win here, and it won't
Yeah.
be particularly convincing. But
I should point
what
out,
does it matter?
before you get any tweets, I'm just going to correct. It was 3-1 to West
Right?
Ham.
Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah,
Sorry.
yeah,
Felt
it
like a 4-1.
It did.
Red like a 4-1.
Indeed. And feelings are more,
review.
more important than facts.
Yes, they are. I've always said this, but yeah.
Sorry, I interrupted.
Officer.
you.
No, it's fine.
Feelings are more important than facts, officer.
But you're almost kind of waiting for them to get to Kenilworth Road, and
Yeah.
that's when your season starts outright.
Yeah.
Because
But Andy's right, like they might be in so much trouble by the time they get
Yeah.
there.
Do you think this is I mean, with Luton when they faced the likes of Chelsea and obviously Manchester City, the champions, do you think that could be the biggest mismatch we've seen in the Premier League?
Well, in terms
Because
of
we've seen a fair few over the years.
in terms of finances, but that presumes that Chelsea are good, which I think is a massive assumption.
But not just Chelsea, but other big sides like Luton are. They seem to be the kind of most extreme minnow we've seen in the Premier League in recent seasons. Now, I know other fans of other clubs would say, "Oh, well, hang on, what about us?" But the story about Luton and the stadium really is also something that we're looking at.
Was
as
Brentford
well.
not kind of up there with them? when they came up?
Possibly, but they had their house in order, and also when they went up, it was after a few times, and they.
They probably wouldn't
you
be
look at
They're
some of
building
the-
towards it.
Exactly.
Whereas,
You look at some of
Yeah.
the players they had as well. Immediately, Ollie Watkins was picked off, and Said Ben Rama, and maybe one or two others. Whereas Luton,
I can't imagine Brentford signing Tim Krul. That's not a good sign.
they're a
for me.
goalkeeper down now.
I think the fact that they're not spending ridiculous amounts of money, it's just the sensible thing to do.
Yeah.
And you've seen like clubs that have flourished
That's
from
right.
that sort of model. I suppose Burnley are the most obvious one before they got leverage buyouted. I think they're going about it the right way.
But could you also see a situation though where, like, if they do what they did against Brighton and just like pump the ball long to Carlton Morris, based on like, I know they're different players, but based on how like Mikel Antonio pushed around some of those Chelsea defenders, I don't know, something could happen there.
Yeah, and is that?
But you almost have to embrace like we're gonna.
I'd
we're
love
just
you
gonna
to
pump
ask
it
Rob
forward.
Edwards that. Just Rob, question here for Tushnan Saraj, ESPN. If you just pump it forward to the big man, do you think something could happen there?
They did that against Brighton.
Yeah,
Like, I know
and
Chelsea
it didn't
don't
work really.
No, it didn't. But like, I don't know. Why not?
you
Because
just don't know
based on what happened last week.
I know you're a big advocate of the long ball generally.
Yeah, I love it.
and
Fucking love it.
It's a lovely throwback.
Yeah.
I know what you mean, though. I mean, look, you said a moment ago that it's a bit of a free hit for Luton, and I think that actually, with that in mind, Andy, it's because of the journey they've had. I think it is wise that they don't suddenly start spending ridiculous amounts. Oh, we've got to stay in the Premier League. Of course you want to stay in the Premier League, but don't do it at the potential expense of the club's finances and the future of the club.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think it's just the names by which we're judging this at the moment. Because, of course, they got hammered at Brighton, but Brighton are way better than Chelsea at the moment.
Yeah.
And they have been for a while now. You know, that's not something new. And until Chelsea can get together something approximating a team, which they're not close to at the moment, rather than just a collection of players, why should we believe in Chelsea? Why should we say, oh, this is like Chelsea of 3 years ago or 4 years? It's not. It's absolutely not. They've got nothing to be scared of. And more to the point, the reason you get promoted to the Premier League is to enjoy it, to say, yes, we're playing away at Chelsea. Yes, we're playing Manchester City. Let's not take that away from them, but just sitting there and going, oh, they're going to get beaten 10. They're not going to get beaten 10-0.
Yeah, I think what a lot of people are looking at Chelsea is, as I said previous weeks, is they're looking at the manager, and to try and get some kind of balanced formula, starting 11 with all those players that they've got, it's very, very tricky. But Pochettino in the press conferences, he's been very eloquent, and I'd forgotten how kind of charming and charismatic he was actually. And it's lovely to have him back in the Premier League.
For these couple of months.
Do you just give him a couple of months there, or do you think, or
It's
is
Chelsea. I mean, the thing is, Pochettino would be the perfect coach
Whoa.
to take
Are you
over
saying
this
gone
project.
by Christmas, Andy? Can we nail you down on that?
I'm not against that.
Oh, okay, that's
I'm
it.
not against that as a point of view.
A big
It's
prediction.
Chelsea.
Okay.
It's Chelsea. Like
You sound like that fan who was outside the ground. Remember that time? It's Chelsea, yeah?
There's no song involved. I can
Okay,
assure you. The thing is, in any other sensible situation, you think of this munge of players is going to take time.
Munge.
And that's exactly what he's not going to get because it's Chelsea.
Definitely the first time Munge has ever been used in the Ramble.
Yeah, I like that.
That was a big drum and bass thing, wasn't it? In the,
Was it?
the late 90s.
Yeah, and Andy, you
beat
and I know that.
munging. Beat munging.
Have you listened to Peter Crouch's podcast?
I'm gonna say, Andy, if someone said to you, someone walked up to me in the street and go, "Do you want to have a little beat munge?" I'd be a bit like, I don't know, get away from me, you foul creature.
If you say anything, if you walk up to someone in the street and say anything, it's going to be dodgy, isn't it?
If you come up to someone and say hello, they're like,
Yeah.
"Oh, fucking hell, what
Yeah.
does he
You want
want?"
someone to go, Nando's?
Not everybody lives in London. Some people do talk to each other in the
That's
street.
true. That's
you
true.
know.
Yeah.
And those
And they're
people
all-
need to be stopped.
And they're all weirdos. don't
Yeah.
worry. You stay here.
And
where
every
it's
now and
safe.
again, they come to London and try and have a word with us. Stay
dear.
out.
Well, Poch, did you see, had a little dig at Klopp this week regarding the Moises Caicedo transfer? Because Klopp had previously stated, of course, that if he ever signed or they'd ever bidded for a player more than £100 million, then he would quit.
Right.
He would leave his post. Pochettino said, "I saw Klopp say I'm not going to be in the business when we should pay £100 million for a player. Then they offered £100 million, and he said, 'Oh, I made a mistake.' That is the same situation." Oh, he's got him there.
Nice.
Yeah.
I only prefer Steve Brewster's opinions on Caicedo.
Well,
Yeah.
what does Steve Bruce
He's
say?
not a mug, is he?
He's not a mug. He said, I remember thinking what a good player he was back when apparently at Newcastle they tried to sign him for 4.5 million. He ended up choosing Brighton instead. Not a surprise. And that will go down as one that we missed because now he's gone on to become the British record transfer fee.
I smell bullshit.
Yes, yeah.
Firstly, because Mike
Steve
Ashley's
Bruce.
spending £4.5 million on a player.
Yeah.
Are you kidding?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it was on a podcast hosted by Sam Allardyce. I mean, what are we doing listening to this shite?
Yeah.
With such big opinions. They don't use mics. They use those big World War II parabolic mirrors.
Yeah.
You know, before radar, they just had those big cement things. Big opinions.
I don't think they bidded 4.5 million, as Andy says. I think that was his value, and they were like, "Whoa, whoa, whoa! No way, we're going anywhere near that."
Well, Bruce did go on to say that he spoke about Joe Linton. When I was in charge, I picked Joe Linton every week, but I knew from the moment he joined the club that he wasn't a natural goal scorer. Is that why you played him up top by
Yeah.
himself
Yeah,
every
yeah,
week
yeah.
I know.
for about a
unbelievable.
year?
If only someone saw that and then moved him back. That's the blueprint for a big Jolie Linton there. Dear me. Well, Chelsea do host Luton tonight, and of course, very early tomorrow morning, you can catch a Ramble React with Luke and Andy.
I'll probably still be in my PJs.
I should hope so.
Yeah.
Andy, it's about time
Yeah.
you got back in them. Before we move on from Chelsea, did you see that Kepa went to Real Madrid on loan this week? That's a lovely old job, isn't it?
For
Yeah.
him, yes.
Will he play that much? Who knows? But he'll still be in the lovely surroundings of Madrid. And he
Is this the point that which I have to leap in and say Andre Lunin will be the starter by Christmas?
maybe.
You have to.
Um,
You simply have to.
I have
But
to.
he will team up with future European Championship winner Jude Bellingham. Yeah, I said it. I bloody said
Oh,
it.
this is the predictions
So,
preview show.
so you're going.
And no, he can't change allegiance, by the way.
So Andy, you're going. Gone by December. That's your vibe very much.
No,
today.
Christmas.
Sorry, gone by Christmas.
Yeah.
And Marcus, your vibe today
England will
is
win the
it's
Euros.
coming home in the summer.
Yeah, I actually predicted that after the we got knocked out of the World Cup.
Are,
So,
are you dizzy on Bellingham juice after these first few weeks of the season?
I think we all are, Andy.
Yeah.
I've
I think
heard,
we all
I've
are.
heard he's difficult to work with.
I heard that. Well, yeah.
I heard he's got an ego. I heard he's too confident.
Yeah, there
Look,
was
Embrace difficult to work with in this room.
there was a little news article, wasn't there, from Bild, or Bilge, as I now call it, and they're saying that some of his teammates at Dortmund were glad to see him go.
They're
Really?
but they're so small, fun. Who cares?
But that's been the response in Madrid.
Charge people more money to watch your games. Yeah, stop them drinking on the terrace, and then fuck off.
Yeah, and then all we need
Put your
is-
delicious sausages away.
Yeah.
and we just need to-
50 plus 1, no, 100. Give them 100. Let them own all of it.
Exactly, yeah. And he'll probably win league titles in Real
Yeah.
Madrid and not choke on the last day of the season. But they're very much loving him in Real Madrid, aren't they?
Yeah, they are. It's
He's
it's
had a
super
phenomenal
exciting.
start to the season.
It's his league already.
Get on that.
Look at this little
It belongs. A foreign league belongs to an Englishman.
You're a disgrace.
I'm just having a lol.
You
Peter.
want La Liga put in the British Museum, don't you?
Like the Elgin Marbles.
Yeah.
And the Bundesliga now, because Harry Kane owns that one.
Yeah, all of
Um,
them.
There we are, you see.
Billy Sharp
Will he
off
own
the-
it at the end of the season,
Exactly,
though? That's
yeah.
the question.
I don't know. And will Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain own the Turkish Superliga soon enough? He came on
Yeah,
last night.
I mean, that's a definite
He
no, isn't it?
came on last
for
night.
Besiktas.
Yeah,
Did
but
you
he
even
just,
know he went there?
I did, yeah.
Right, okay.
He came on. That's what you cling to. He came on
He's
last
only just
night.
signed, to be fair. Come on. Anyway, let's move on to the Claret and Blue derby. Burnley versus Aston Villa. It's on Sunday. Aston Villa thumped Hibs 5-0 lol on Wednesday night, thanks to an Ollie Watkins hat-trick and 2 other goals, hence 5. Hibs are surely out of the tie now, aren't they, Peter?
I'd say so, yeah. I reckon it wasn't a great night, was it?
It
for,
wasn't a great
for
night.
Hibs?
Hearts played last night. They played Pauk. You remember Pauk with the
I remember
owner?
Pauk, yeah.
Former owner ran on the pitch with a gun.
That's right, yeah. I don't
Yeah.
think he gets away with that.
What did he have this time? A battered Mars bar?
Hang on, let me state for the record, he didn't get away with
Right,
it,
okay,
Peter. Where is he now, Andy, that guy? Is he in prison?
No,
House arrest?
no.
No?
Gun training course? There's got to be some sanction.
Arthur's seat, I think.
He's up Arthur's seat right now, is he? Just, yeah, okay. Well, less said about that, the better. Aberdeen got a good draw. But anyway, we're talking about Burnley versus Aston Villa. And John McGinn, who played in that game, of course, went back to his old club Hibs, which is that kind of romance that Vish, you love in football.
Mm-hmm.
Initially got a warm reception on his return, but then was heckled repeatedly during his post-match interview pitchside. I think he turned around and went, it's like being at the Edinburgh Festival.
He did, didn't he?
Nice.
Indeed, yeah. So, yes, of course, Burnley, they've only played once thus far in the Premier League this season. It was a loss to Manchester City, but they've bounced back, everybody, because they beat Manchester United 3-0 in a friendly at Carrington this week. Vish, does that bode well?
For United.
I wonder if this is because you try out tactics and you try out new things in these behind closed door games.
Sounds like he got it spot on.
I wonder though if maybe they were trialing. Will people get more or less annoyed if they can't watch the games?
Right.
Yeah.
Because where Manchester United are playing Nottingham Forest this weekend, then they're playing Arsenal the weekend after that. Maybe by then we'll know if it's better that no one watches our games.
Yeah,
okay.
Schrodinger's team.
Yes,
Yeah,
yeah.
I think
I'm your
it-
private friendly.
if you wanted to play your games behind closed doors, the Premier League may have a problem with that.
They might do,
Uh-huh.
but you got to try it first. And
Yeah.
ask for forgiveness rather than permission. That's what they say, yeah?
They do.
Smash all the lenses.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Oh,
It's
dear.
funny how this kind of stuff comes out in terms of you don't necessarily know how seriously they've taken it, but United did play a few first teamers. Anthony Martial played, McTominay played, Palestri played.
Jesse Lingard.
Yeah, but there's an element of why have you lost?
Yeah.
Why have you allowed yourself?
Well, you'll
to
never know,
lose?
will you? But it is very. It does
Sap the
remind me of
confidence.
friendlies 10 years ago when you just wouldn't be on television. Like nowadays, any sort of homeopathic level of Premier League action playing away in Atlanta or something,
Yeah.
they'll televise it
Yeah.
live on Sky.
Or at least a
But
highlights package.
Yeah, but we back in the day, you didn't get anything, did you? It's like, we
Yeah.
lost 4-0 against Gateshead. I wonder how
Do you know
that
who-
went.
Mind you, though, it's funny when you say that because it reminds me of the aforementioned Hibs, who were playing in, I'm pretty sure it was a Scottish Cup game. And my goodness, how's this man getting a mention? Chick Charnley, who was one of their former players, old Chico.
Partick legend.
Right, okay. He's played for a number of clubs. I remember him playing at Hibs. He scored, apparently, from the halfway line in this game. I say apparently because there was no cameras at the
Yeah,
ground.
never televised.
Isn't that no? Not even televised. There was no cameras.
So that's just a rumour he could have spread.
well. He's got to be in cahoots
Yeah.
with a few thousand people. I
Sure.
stress just a few thousand people though. But yeah, madness.
Right, everyone, I will give you a couple of quid each. Let's call it
Yeah.
150.
All right, a fiver for you away fans.
Yeah. If you could just tell people I scored a banger.
But there was a proper game though. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Crazy, isn't it? But anyway, so yes, Burnley go into this off the back of that Manchester United thumping. And of course, they didn't play last weekend because their visit to Luton was postponed. Andy, Villa are, I suppose you could call them the form team after that battering they got from Newcastle United on the first day of the season. They'll surely be favourites for this.
Yeah, but I think this is an interesting medium test because they were so far short against Newcastle. Newcastle were very good, but Villa played
Didn't need to be, did they?
dreadfully, yeah. And then since they've played Everton and Hibs, and I think Lee Johnson was saying after that, he was talking about the quality gap, etc., etc. I think he also acknowledged that they conceded the same goal 3 times in the first half, which
Only counts as one then.
yeah, exactly, which is
It's
always going to
different.
kip you. So I think this is an interesting test for Villa, because it's not the same as going to Newcastle away, but it's much harder than the last 2 games they've had.
Yeah, okay. I would see a Villa win here, but we're all intrigued by Burnley, I think, this season.
Yeah,
Because
for
of what
sure.
they did in the Championship last season. And, of
And
course,
because of the signing videos.
yeah, and Company and Bellamy as well. Don't forget Bellas.
I'm not forgetting Bellas.
I plead to you. Excellent stuff. Well, as our football season is sort of still getting underway, if you like, one football season has already been wrapped up. The 2023 Greenlandic football season took place over 5 days from the 10th of August to the 15th of August. And Bold Klubben, AF 1967, won the title. As I predicted.
I hear that Newcastle
Really?
ran them very close.
Did they? Oh, I
Yeah.
see.
I mean, you have to know that the capital city is Nook, but to find that.
I was thinking that was an
Anyway,
Animal
humour.
Crossing reference.
Tom Nook. Is it Tom Nook?
Yeah, it is.
Why did they give him a first name? He's a squirrel, isn't he?
I think he's
Raccoon?
A raccoon.
Raccoon,
Yeah.
yeah.
He's a raccoon slum landlord.
Yeah. Well, speaking
Essentially.
of animals, have you seen the coat of arms of Greenland?
No, not
It's
recently.
a polar bear having a lovely lick.
Is that right?
Didn't it? Who had the tongue in? He's
Um,
gone,
well, the Atletico Madrid badge is
I'm
a
a polar bear.
yeah, but Atletico Madrid badge is a bear having
Oh
a
yeah,
lovely lick.
what a weirdo.
Why do you put a ting in there? Ting? Why do you put a ting in
All
there?
right, jeez. All right, roadman Donaldson.
Why'd you put a tick? A tick lick? Jesus.
Also,
Tongue. A tongue. I meant to say the word tongue.
the Greenland bear. It looks like it's like pashing someone.
Yeah, it
but
looks
they've removed the other
removed it.
person
Oi,
because his arms.
Yeah, it's like kind of like
Not-
they've kind of coloured it in.
It's
Nice
a very
use-
long tongue. He's
nice
a bit
use.
like.
Yeah.
nice use of the Australian term pash there.
Yeah.
by the way. Well, in other animal-related news concerning Greenland, Peter,
Mm.
a team called Amasalimi were due to take part in that 5-day season, but they dropped out in order to focus on the annual reindeer hunt instead.
It's got to be. That's like an AI-generated joke about Greenland.
Yeah.
Yeah, is that? I mean, presumably that's really important. Like
I
that
assume
is
so.
really important there. Like, so, like, why have they chosen in the middle of the bloody reindeer hunt
Maybe.
to do a season? You had
Yeah.
surely next week the 5 days,
Yeah.
the 5-day tournament
I
could
think
take
it
place.
starts snowing again this week after, so they've got to pack it all in that
Yeah.
week.
Also, like the way it might actually be more serious than we think. Like it might not be a jovial thing about. Look, we need to get. They will destroy us.
Yes.
You know, like in 40 Days of Night, when the
Right.
vampires come out at that one window where it's 24 hours
Yeah.
of darkness.
Mm.
It's generally a great horror film, by the
Yeah.
way. Maybe it's like, right, because the reindeer are coming and we have to protect our
I
children.
can hear them jingling.
Yeah. Well, Santa's the only one who can control them. Presumably.
Exactly,
Yeah.
but not in August.
Not in August.
They respect
no.
only one man.
Sleeping.
Yeah, exactly. All right.
What have you been up to? Why is your nose so bloody red? Nothing.
I think it's time for a quick break, Vish.
Chaps.
Welcome back to the Football Ramble, everybody.
Who chose that one?
That was John McGinn
Right.
when he was asked what his what was it, guilty pleasure or favourite?
What are you? I think is what your favorite. It's from a
Cheat
couple of
meal,
years
isn't it?
ago.
Cheat
It's
meal?
what your essentially what your favorite food is, or like slash
Chaps.
what you can cook.
Nice.
And I don't know whether he was
Chaps.
answering the first question or the second question. If John McGinn's answer was chips.
That's a lovely old job, isn't it? Right. Did you see, gentlemen, an interview this week? Mike Dean revealed that he hated being on VAR duty and that he was scared of the role. He was the VAR for Chelsea's 2-2 draw with Spurs last August, where Chelsea felt they should have had a penalty after Christian Romero pulled Mark Cucurelli's hair. It was a clear penalty for everybody who remembers. Dean admitted he should have sent Anthony Taylor to the screen and explained why he didn't at the time. Dean said he cautioned both managers. He's had a hell of a game. It's such a tough game to end. I said to Anthony afterwards, I just didn't want to send you to the screen after what had gone on in the game. I didn't want to send him up because he is a mate as well as a referee, and I think I didn't want to send him up because I didn't want any more grief than he'd already had.
It's one good, one bad, isn't it, Andy? It's kind of like, I like the honesty of being scared of VAR, but then he goes on to go,
So I
I've,
just bottled it.
I've absolutely bottled that.
Isn't it remarkable that he's been in this analyst's role as a referee for how long?
Not
and
long.
he's like gonna. He's just chucked it in the bin already.
Yeah, yeah, and also as well, like that.
That desperate to see Tranmere home and away.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but that also puts pressure on other referees now because they're going, "Oh, do you not care?" Because we know one of the most high-profile ones.
Like, if you're Howard Webb, you must be absolutely doing your nut. He's done so much
Mm.
to in recent months to change things, to create a dialogue, to rebuild trust between players, managers, and match officials on the other side. And some idiot from the sidelines has just thrown a grenade in that.
Yeah.
That's a really good point because Howard Webb made a conscious effort to get in, people in the industry to discuss how they were going to do things, and that with a view of bringing a bit more transparency. And that happened at the start of this season. So for someone like Mike Dean to be bringing up something that happened last season, and do it in that way as well, because it also puts pressure on Anthony Taylor, and it also highlights the fact that what we said before, and perhaps more in a more humanizing way, that when you have a person there, you're going to get emotion, which is going to almost cloud the water or muddy the waters when it comes to VAR. And it doesn't matter if he's your mate. I think he thinks he's doing a good thing here, and I think there's almost a kind of big brother element to it that he's trying to play up to. They're like, I've got to look after my mate. So, I'm the big one, I can handle it, but I don't know about some of them, and I'm doing the right thing here. And it's like, no, even this in itself is quite selfish.
But and all the issues that we've had with VAR in England, they're different to the issues that have been on the continent. Yeah, I said it, on the continent.
Oh yeah.
With VAR, because what has been always good about the relationship between the way that we look at refereeing and the way that other countries' football fans and media look at refereeing, there's never been a sense of. People always say the referee's an idiot or the referee's got it wrong, often with a misunderstanding of the rules, but that's another story. But there's very rarely. It's only real cranks who say that referees are dishonest or it's a conspiracy. Whereas in Portugal, Italy, etc., it's conspiracy.
Yeah.
And we don't want to get anywhere near that.
No.
Well, and I just think this is feeding that sort of thing.
Well, this could directly lead to more VAR checks. It just could. If you've got that in your head that's been the narrative this week, ridiculous.
I mean, if I was Howard Webb, well, it depends. You either just leave it and hope that you don't add any, you don't draw any more focus to it, or you just come out and say, I mean, and that's one of the other issues that we're trying to resolve this season. And again, it shows you that we had to go and start doing stuff. And you talk about it as if it's a past tense thing. We've sorted that, blah, 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 and on you go. Because, Mike Dean still there.
Imagine the referee's WhatsApp group. He's going to be chucked out.
You'd mute that in a second.
Yeah, I think so.
Just a little piece of Lexus.
I've got a new tattoo. Oh, why is he still here?
Right, well, let's get back to the Premier League, chaps. Also on Sunday afternoon, Sheffield United host Manchester City. Oh, how about that? Sheffield United up against the champions. Now, they've started both of their games so far with two 20-year-olds up front, Benny Traore and William Osula. Players that I hadn't heard of, I'll be honest with you, before Sheffield United sort of kicked off. They're, again, a bit like Luton. A lot of people fancy them for the drop. They look at that side and they question where the quality is and so on.
And they've actually got less money than Luton as well.
Yeah, incredibly. So, it's obviously a huge ask against Manchester City. Nothing will be expected of them there. But when you look at that team, Andy, and you look at the lack of money, do you worry for them?
Well, again, I think it's a situation where you just expect them to go down. Look, I want Luton and Sheffield United to be competitive, and I'm hoping that will be the case. Interestingly, Sheffield United look like they're going to sign a striker of substance. It looks like Mama Balde.
Oh,
he's on the way to Sheffield United from Twat, and he was pretty good there last season. He's a step up from what they've got. But Traore is just new in the Premier League and obviously very, very keen to do well as well. Man City's not the barometer, is it? Now this is different if we're talking about a gap, because with Chelsea and Luton, it's just a gap of means. Whereas here, there is a genuine gap of quality. And look, you look at the fact that City who I thought, talking about what Pete was on earlier, I thought they were brilliant for the first hour against Newcastle, and probably 95% of the other teams in the Premier League, they would have been like 4 or 5-0 up. They were absolutely firing already. You think the fact they've got Bernardo Silva signing a new contract, Jeremy Doku's just arrived, who I think is going to be terrific for them as well. Now that is a golf. That is not just an ideological golf. That is an actual on the pitch golf.
Sure, but I think with regards to Luton, people weren't just talking about the Chelsea game. They're talking about when they play all these sort of bigger sides, and Man City would come into that. But yes, I mean Manchester City, of course, beat Sheffield United 3-0 in the FA Cup semi-final last season. Unless we forget, before that, Ty Blades fan pretended to kidnap Erling Haaland.
That was a great video.
It was, but
it's sad because when you get that sort of age, whatever you do when it comes to having a crack at creating in inverted commas content, there's a definite undercurrent of desperation, and slight cringe, and I'm very much in that same age bracket now, and it upsets me. Because
that bloke was
I
genuinely 20 years older than you.
He was not. I'm
carry on.
definitely cracking on to his age. But I just think every now and again when I'm thinking of doing something online, I'm like, what if the children shout cringe at me?
Yeah, I mean, we
can't live my life like that.
No, you can't.
Yeah.
But I mean,
I don't have a dummy in my house, so there's that.
You don't know. I don't believe that.
No,
but you have you have lots of heads.
Just the dolls' heads. Yeah. No, do I? I don't know.
You have Jim's head, don't you?
Oh yeah, I do have it. Yeah, I do have a 3D printed version of.
I'd go as far as
Jim's
to say
head,
that's one too many heads.
I've got a cardboard cutout of my partner.
Yeah,
that was funny.
We did get you to sign up to a code of conduct, which also, one of the practical
check the VAR
solutions of this is when you are online, before you do anything, just stop, think,
look both ways. Yeah,
are you going to regret this?
Yeah,
and Aymeric Laporte won't be there because he's left Manchester City for, as they're now known, Cristiano Ronaldo's Al Nassr.
The Laporte thing, and the recent link for Mo Salah that came out yesterday about Liverpool having to come out and say that Mo Salah is not for sale. I think it kind of feeds into this weird vibe the Premier League has right now.
Yeah,
it feels like no one is really set, understandably, because no one really knows where their squad's going to be come the end of the closing of the transfer window, because of what Saudi Arabia's come about. Saudi Arabia are basically Premier Leaguing the Premier League.
That's right. Yeah, financially. Yeah.
I mean, that is an advantage for Sheffield United and Luton. Al Nassr aren't coming and buying their players.
No, true, but it kind of means that, like, for the first time in a while, you look at the top half of the table and you're like, if something mad were to happen this year, that wouldn't be too much of a surprise. And I'm not thinking like Leicester City vibes to a point, but then also maybe I am. Like, Andy, you're smart. You'll be able to like predict these kind of things. But something about just the start of the season, not least with the injuries as well, and maybe that's a little bit too much focus on, kind of basket case clubs on that half of the table, like Manchester United and Chelsea. But they're just, even with City now, there feels like a little bit of like uncertainty there, like a bit of unease.
I think that's why the Bernardo Silva re-signing is so important. They needed to lock him down for this year, and they'll probably let him go next summer. But they've been so good, Manchester City, over the years, at losing players who you think are irreplaceable and replacing them and making it seem easy. They could not afford to lose Bernardo this year, and that's why this contract is super important, and it's one of the reasons I think they'll end up winning the league by a mile. But I think what you're saying about the Saudi transfer window, the interesting thing is that lasts for a few more weeks than the Premier League one. So you're going to have this weird netherworld, even when the window's shut in a week and a half. I just wonder, like, I don't know if Salah's the best example, but if a club of substance gets a big offer for one of their players, or actually the player gets a big offer from one of the clubs is nearer the mark, and he starts agitating to get out, and they're struggling to countenance it because, of course, they can't replace them by that point because the window's shut. I mean, that's a whole level of instability that really the Premier League's never had to deal with before. So that adds on to what you were saying.
Teams are going to be laying down extra little kind of sweeteners to sort of please don't go in the next couple of weeks. I mean, Jota's coming back, or he's going somewhere. Like he was there for like 2 weeks and then left.
What, from Celtic?
Yeah. Yeah.
Mm.
He's
had enough.
Al Ittihad and now
No, they've decided he's not highfalutin enough.
Right,
And
okay.
He's just out of there.
having spent 25 million on him, and God knows how many wages they're going to loan him out. It looks like.
Oh, do you
That's
reckon? But do you
wild.
reckon it's like he had one month there and be like, brilliant, that's enough money for me. I'll go back.
I'm full, thank you.
Yeah.
That would
My
be
bank
funny.
account is full.
How funny would that be?
Oh, that
Like,
takes me on the tax bracket.
that's it, yeah.
Where's Benzema going? Nuno Espirito Santo doesn't want him. It's
I love
absolutely
that.
wild.
I
I
don't-
wonder who's going to win that power.
Yeah,
Exactly.
Old Nuno was saying, wasn't he? Well, he doesn't fit into my system.
I would say, Nuno,
what
get a
system-
new fucking
yeah.
system, mate.
What system could not carry a Benzema?
I think
I don't know.
the end of that the end of that story that I most enjoyed is Benzema approached him and said, "Can I be captain?" And Nuno said, "No."
Oh, he scored though, didn't he? The other. No, who cares what
Yeah.
he did? Let's move on and talk about Lionel Messi. He went for romantic reasons and not the money, but he will make an awful lot of money. And also, he is an ambassador for Saudi Arabia. Do you know what I mean? Messi's
Yeah.
played this very well.
Yeah.
He gets the Saudi coin, but without any of the heat. But yeah, Inter Miami, they're just one step away now from a domestic cup double. After advancing to the US Open Cup final, that's football and not golf. They beat FC Cincinnati on penalties. How about that? Again, we can't stress enough. You get rid of Fizzer. Yeah, you get some top quality players in as well, but you get rid of Fizzer and the trophies. They come. The broadcast of this game included a special viewing option with a second screen star cam to keep focus on Lionel Messi throughout the game.
Shall we bother oiling the tripod? Nah. he just stands there, doesn't he?
It's like EFL coverage. Isn't it?
Look at you channeling the spirit of Alexi Lalas.
What do you mean? As in-
Lalas.
Lalas.
Lalas is still alive, by the way.
Right, okay.
I should say. But yeah, he said of Messi in Miami, the Messi Miami train keeps rolling. 8 games, 10 goals, undefeated, and led his team to a trophy in 2 finals. If you can't find joy in this, or you find a way to crap on it, you need to seek help. Or a suppository, presumably.
Yeah.
But he has yet to play a game in MLS, and his team is in last place.
Well,
He also says he just strolls around the pitch as well.
Well, I would say that it's the worst thing for MLS to have Leo Messi
Really?
in this. It's like watching a drunken Gulliver just smash the fuck out of Lilliput. It's just like just tearing around, booting people's houses over.
Yeah, but he's playing
Like,
for
he's
the
just
bottom of the league.
absolutely.
They're in their division. They are bottom of the league, so
Yeah.
it's fair, is it not?
Is it fair? Right.
And if
Okay,
it's
So is it
Something
like
we
when
know.
Chris Wood joined Newcastle?
A little bit.
it's when Hosselu joined Newcastle.
Yeah, there we go.
Thank you.
I thought you were going to say that it's not great for MLS football and maybe American football that Alexi Lalas is still there.
Yes.
I think a lot of
Hey,
people would
remember my
agree with
big
that.
fucking beard?
yeah. He should know. He played for Padova, was it that time in Serie A? Who, I don't know if they still do, but they had like the worst record in the history of
Right.
Serie A or
Yeah.
something. Conceded an awful lot of goals. It was like Robbie Savage's Derby County. that
Nice.
time.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Indeed. Well, we'll stay with Messi for a brief moment. The fans have noticed that he's been followed around by a big old bodyguard when he plays,
Yeah.
and
When he plays, well, like man marked.
like down the
Pretty much.
touchline. So when he's celebrating, there's
You've
been
got
some.
to be joking.
Have you not seen this?
He
No.
runs up and down the touchline as closely as he can, like
Yeah.
a linesman. I don't know how he's allowed dispensation for this.
Do you remember those?
I'll tell you how.
Oh yes, I've just remembered.
It's America, baby.
Do you remember those Spanish fans who were following the linesman? That
Yeah.
time?
Yes.
Oh, is that
yeah,
in
yeah,
Spain?
yeah,
A
a little bit like
similar,
that, yeah.
similar to that.
But,
Yeah,
but
but
wherever
much
he goes,
quicker.
as soon as the match ended, he's straight on there
Yeah.
around Messi. Because I mean, I guess he's a target for maniacs, and maniacs love running onto the pitch.
I suppose,
Yeah.
yeah, a lot of people, even before going to MLS, like it's happened for nearly a decade, hasn't it? People running on the pitch
Yeah.
to get Messi's
Well,
shirt.
apparently-
or-
Ronaldo
Yeah.
gets it a lot as well, doesn't
Yeah.
it? It's just for
Yeah.
balance.
But apparently,
It's just, yeah.
I think Messi gets it more.
Maybe they're just protecting him from Salt Bay.
How do you, so to kind of keep Salt Bay
Mhm.
at bay,
Mm.
do you need to throw a slug on him? How does it work the other way?
Yes,
No,
maybe.
no,
yes.
Like a
the
bucket
slug-
of slugs.
the
Yeah.
slug would just die straight away.
I know, but like, what's the equivalent? How do you slug a salt?
How do you slug a salt? How do you slug a salt?
Look, there are some
Pepper.
questions that we're willing to try and tackle on the
Yeah.
show, but that's not one of them.
Well, fair
How
enough.
do you slug a salt? But apparently in MLS they have had a few more instances of fans running onto the pitch.
Mm.
So they've got this ex-Navy SEAL who is a martial arts, boxing, and taekwondo expert to do the job.
Maybe it's like the Spanish FA guy runs on.
Some kid,
Bang!
they're gonna someone's gonna run on and get shot,
Yeah.
and then for the next week on American news TV, they'll be debating whether it was
Should
good
we
or
arm the
good or
managers?
bad. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Should we arm the
players?
goalkeepers?
Arm
Should we arm
Should the players
Yeah,
carry
yeah,
guns?
yeah,
Should
yeah,
the
yeah.
players carry guns?
Well, that's what
Yeah.
the old owner of PAOK was trying to say. Look, we
Yeah.
all need to
We
be.
should
He's
all
a
need to be
trailblazer, if
armed.
anything, really. He's ahead of his
Imagine
time.
just like celebrating a goal by shooting a magnum in the air. Bang, bang, bang. I don't care where these bullets are coming down.
Yeah, you once bought me a Magnum at a football match in Portugal.
I did, yeah.
Yeah.
In
Delightful.
Portugal, really?
Yeah.
The only time I've eaten a Magnum while watching a football match was at the 2014 Champions League final.
See?
And it greatly
Yeah.
enhanced the experience.
Was that important? That was at Benfica.
Yeah,
was
yeah.
it? Yeah,
That's
this was
my
at
point.
Sporting, but same city.
Same
Yeah.
If you're
city.
in Lisbon this weekend,
Enjoy a magnum with
get
the
on a
football, for
Magnum.
crying out
They
loud.
do Magnums so well over there.
Just tastes different, doesn't it? Just tastes different.
Exactly.
It's nicer, isn't it? It's just nice.
Funny writing on the wrapper. Funny writing.
Not for resale. What?
I think this bodyguard. I think that after he's Messi has finished playing for Inter Miami, he'll be much better at football because if you think about it, following Messi around the pitch,
Positional
awareness, he'll know when to go, when to not go. Because as I say, Messi he's sort of strolling around, but then the moment comes and he's away and he leaves them all for dead.
It's like a hyper real version of the fact that Papu Gomez. He always positions himself really close to the referee because he reasons that the referee's in the perfect spot because he needs to see everything.
Oh.
I love that.
That is lovely.
Yeah, but
But
dreadful. at the
fallible.
same time.
Lovely, but
Doesn't
fallible.
the referee-
Also, he's
referee
thinking, I'm well into my 30s now.
Wait.
Who's the bloke who does the least running on the pitch?
Where's Gomez? He's sitting next to the VAR guy. Oh no!
He's got the real power.
Why is Papu Gomez at Stockley Park? Taking this too far.
Oh dear.
Dean Smith also says you're an encyclopedia of football.
A what?
An encyclopedia of football.
I don't know what that means.
Oh, what? It's time for Jack's Encyclopedia, a simple game of categories. I'm going to give you all a category. All you have to do is give me an answer that fits in that category. If you go too slow, you're going to hear Gary Neville, which will leave you 7 seconds. Jimmy has started this season's league table with the first game of the season last Friday. Andy has been taking an early lead. Vish, though, is the lineal champion from pre-season.
I think Andy should host this show. I would like to play P.
I think he should too. Rude.
That's very,
That's rude.
I've
And
not
I'm
been-
going to be
I'm
on.
not saying that.
I'm going to be in the tactics truck, the VAR truck.
Yeah.
Sorry. So you better watch out, sunshine.
Right,
all right.
I'd just like to defend my
but we're
good friend Pete Donaldson there. That's a disgrace.
You too. You as well. You're going on the list.
No.
Outrageous.
Andy's the only clean guy
He's
playing
not
a clean game.
He's got all the answers.
He's got all the answers. All right, we're going to kick things off with you, Vish, if that's all right.
Go
You got
on
your
then.
little pen and paper.
Yeah.
Players who have started a World Cup semi-final for England under either Gareth Southgate or Serena Wiegman.
Oh, like that.
Nice. Nice.
I'm going to go with Mary Earps.
You are correct.
I'll go for Jordan Pickford.
You are correct.
Lucy Bronze.
Alex Greenwood.
Alessia Russo.
Mm-hmm.
Suddenly panicked and thought, did she come on?
Rachel Daly.
Rachel Daly is there.
Kira Walsh.
Yes.
Millie Bright.
Oh, I like it.
Kieran Trippier.
Ah.
Our first boy.
Harry Kane.
Harry bloody Kane.
Raheem Sterling.
Mm-hmm. Correct.
I'm so disappointed. I love saying his name.
Who? Raheem Sterling.
Yeah.
I like it. Do you like his Clark's advert? That was good. Sorry, Andy.
Kyle Walker.
Declan Rice. What?
Unlucky. Declan Rice didn't start a welcome semi-final for England under Gareth Southgate or Serena Wiegman.
Wasn't even in the squad, bruv.
Wasn't even in the squad.
Harry
What am I
Maguire.
thinking of?
Who are you thinking of?
You were
I
thinking
don't
of
know.
the UEFA Nations League.
Ah,
semi-final.
no,
Now you're speaking speller's language.
Yeah,
Idiot.
Harry
All right.
Maguire.
Come on,
I was going to
Chelsea.
say Harry.
Harry Maguire, correct. Andy?
It's Torres to give Chelsea a place in the Champions League final.
Luke Shaw.
Oh,
wrong, isn't it?
Bruv, nah, bruv. squad. You could have gone Ashley Young, John Stones, Dele Alli, Jesse Lingard, Jordan Henderson. Could have had any of them.
Yeah, Hendo.
Yeah, to be fair, most of those.
All of them, Peter. All of them.
So, yeah, Ashley Young, Dele, Ella Toon, Georgia Stanway, Jess Carter, Jesse Lingard, John Stones, Jordan Henderson, and Lauren Hemp were the ones that you missed out on.
Hemp was brilliant in that semi-final.
Yeah.
All right, on to round 2, and well done to Marcus Bella for winning that one. Number 2, this one's for you, Marcus. You're
Another England one, yeah?
this. No.
I've had my moment.
The 20 most northerly teams currently competing in the Premier League or Football League. The 20 most northerly teams currently competing in the Premier League or the Football League. Premier League to League 2. Get involved.
I like this.
Marcus Speller.
I'm not going to win it, but I like it.
Measured by degrees of latitude. Don't come at me, bro.
Surely Newcastle United.
Newcastle United are in there, yeah.
Carlisle.
I like to hear them.
Sunderland.
Sunderland, correct.
Middlesbrough?
Oh.
How many?
Come on, Andy.
There
Stop
are
stalling.
20.
Fleetwood.
Oh,
Correct.
well played.
You nearly got the Neville.
Yeah.
I'm trying to work what the North is.
You
Yeah,
to remember
Londoners
what
and
the
their
North is.
geography.
I'm going to go with...
To give Chelsea a place in the Champions League final. The headline has been written.
Manchester United.
We got the answer just in there.
Oh, it's not as north as you think.
No.
Despite what they chip on about. I'm talking to somebody on the tube and people look at me like I was mental. Sorry.
I don't think they're
Garlic
in
bread.
I don't think they're in the Football League anymore.
Who?
Are you
Who
going
are you
to say
thinking
Watford?
of?
Are you going to say Watford? They are.
Oh, no, I don't think they are.
Who are you thinking of, Marcus?
I can't say it. 'cause
All right, well, I'm going to press the button then.
You were going to say Berwick Rangers, weren't you?
Leeds United.
Oh, it's in there.
Come
it's
on.
in there.
Oh, shit,
Rescued, yeah.
Yorkshire.
Andy B.
Morecambe.
Russell.
Oh, what a fucking
Morecambe,
dickhead.
yes. Beautiful.
Grimsby Town?
Grimsby Town. And it's,
Come on!
and I tell you what, that's really good because Grimsby is only 1 kilometre further north than Barnsley, who are outside the top 20 at 21.
But they're in the
Thanks.
North.
Thanks, I had
Nice.
Barnsley lined up.
Nice.
Hull City.
Damn it, that was my
Damn
next
it.
one.
Correct, Andy.
I've
I
to-
love
I've totally-
this round.
I've
I live for this.
Totally pied off Yorkshire in my head.
There you have. So with that in mind, then I'll tee up Andy for his next answer. If this is right, Sheffield Wednesday.
Unlucky.
He's got to get it though.
Andy, you got to get
Blackpool.
one. Do not go for Sheffield. Blackpool, correct. They're in there.
That's Manchester adjacent.
You could have
I thought
had.
of Blackpool, but I thought
It's Fleetwood adjacent, mate.
Hartlepool.
Blackpool's a big old lick
Hartlepool
north of
in the Premier
Liverpool.
Football League.
They're not in the.
All right, I
anymore,
remember
no.
that correctly.
Yeah,
Next.
Accrington Stanley, Barrow, Blackburn Rovers, Bolton, Bradford, Burnley, Battlestar Galactica, Harrogate Town, Huddersfield Town. You could have had Preston North End as well. So well
Never
done.
Losing the
been
name
so
again.
relieved to win a round. I wouldn't have been able to go back to the north.
Exactly.
Yeah, I went for
You would
a
have been
South
stopped
Yorkshire
at
side.
Darlington. Get off the train, sir. Get off the train.
Darlington's the North, isn't it?
Darlington is in the north, but they're not in the football league.
No, but they are North. You know, people
Don't
like
worry, don't
Oh,
worry.
they're not in the North. No, Nottingham is in the North.
Come along.
All right, let's kick off with a little bit of Andy Brassel love, please, if that's all right, with round number 3. It's 1-1 coming to
1-1.
this one
Yeah.
between Marcus and Andy, so you could win this one. Chelsea managers this century. Caretakers included if they've managed at least one game. Chelsea managers this century. Caretakers are included if they've managed at least one game. I'm enjoying this week's Jack's Encyclopaedia. Let's have one from you, Andy Brassel.
Tuchel.
Tuchel. My knees have Tucheled. Fish.
Ranieri.
Oh, I like to see it.
Jose Mourinho.
Jose Mourinho.
Pochettino.
Pochettino.
Why did I not say Pochettino right?
Frank Lampard.
Frank A.
Frankie Lampard. Antonio Conte.
Yes.
Gus Hiddink.
Ooh,
there he
I like to
is.
see it.
There he is.
Yes.
Avram Grant.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Marcus
Roberto Di Matteo.
Di Matteo.
André Villas-Boas.
Ooh.
Felipe Scolari.
Nice one. Nice one.
Yes.
Tripping off the tongue.
Rafa Benitez.
Rafa Benitez. Correct.
Not to put you off, Vish, but you do realise if you do win this round, it takes us into a fourth, and you don't go on holiday.
I'm not going on holiday.
You're not going on holiday.
Oh,
Pete's not going on
I'm
holiday.
not going for it. I've
You
got all
better
day.
hurry
mate.
him up. You better hurry
I've
him
got
up.
all day. Andy Brassel, let's have an answer, please.
Oh, he's goal gassing. He's trying to.
Prevaricate.
Yeah. Do it now.
It's Torres to give Chelsea.
Do it now. Got a bit turned on there.
Zola. Oh, what? Zola.
Vish, let's have one from you.
Caretakery.
Someone who takes care.
Right, you're getting it. You're getting the Neville. You're getting the Neville.
Eddie Newton.
Marcus Bella, do you want to give us one?
I am choking this. Oh, I can't believe it. Oh, man.
It's Torres to give Chelsea a place in the Champions League final. The headline has been written.
Jody Morris.
All right, you're all back in.
How many left? How many right answers could I
You've
ask?
got 1, 2, 3, 4,
Enough to go
5,
round.
6, 7 left.
Flipping heck.
7 Chelsea managers, caretakers included, managers this century. Andy Brassel, let's have one.
Not a Geordie, but satisfying to say in a Geordie accent. Graham Potter.
Graham Potter!
flipping
Correct. Vish.
Glenn Hoddle.
Why did you not say Maurizio Pochettino?
We've
We've already said it.
Have we?
done.
Yeah.
I'm done. I'm out. Have we said that?
Yeah.
Oh, well, there we are.
Right.
That's why I didn't say it, everybody.
Yeah.
But my answer is...
No, he's already said it. He said a manager's name. That
Yeah.
counts as
So,
the
yeah,
No,
so
there
you
was
have
a
to
conversation between Vish and I.
Yeah, done.
And all conversations are private here on the Ramble.
No, I've been done. All right, okay.
You're getting both barrels, mate.
Brassel wins. Saw that one come in.
Graham.
Not necessarily true with Andy Brassel. Sometimes, you know.
Look at this game.
Oh, God. His assistant, Bruno, would be another one, wouldn't he?
So who do we miss?
Bruno Salto, Carlo Ancelotti,
Big one.
Fucking hell.
Big
Wow.
one.
Graham Ricks.
Yeah, best leave him alone.
Best
yeah.
leave him. Steve Holland and Maurizio Sarri.
Oh, sorry.
Tubbs.
Yeah.
Yep.
And Maurizio Pochettino.
And Maurizio Pochettino, who we'd already mentioned. Congratulations, Andy. That was fun.
Big
I
win
enjoyed
for
that
Ando.
match incredibly. Good,
How
great
did
rounds.
we forget one of the most charismatic managers in the world and a manager who used to chew cigarette butts?
Extraordinary.
Incredible. Follow us on Twitter, TikTok, YouTube, and Instagram at Football Ramble. And don't forget to subscribe on your podcast app. The weekend is officially open, everybody. Get yourselves out there and get on your dancing shoes. Thank you, Andy Brassel.
Thank you.
Thank you, Pete Donaldson.
Farewell all.
Sayonara. And thank you, Batusha Nahantaraja.
Thank you.
Lots of love, everybody. See you soon.
Cheers for watching another fantastic clip from the Football Ramble podcast. Make sure you click like on this video and subscribe to the channel, which means you will not miss a single upload.